Hello, audio marks coming to you from the Sage Public Library. Welcome to the Marks for Life podcast with your hosts, Jimmy, CJ, Joe, and Jared. Woo! The four horsemen of podcasting. Four casuals turned Marks wrestling fans who give you a direct line to all things in the squared circle. Enter the ring at your own risk. We pull no punches, we hit hard, and we will slam you all the info you need to know. So, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Let's hit it!
Hey, how you doing? This is your first ever Italian-born Marks for Life podcast champion, Joe.
Am I like?
We have. I just want everyone to know now. We have CJ via satellite. We'll call it that.
Yeah, that's a way to say it.
This is the second time I've had CJ via satellite.
So anything that happens in CJ's stream of consciousness will be recorded by this podcast. Should be a fun day. So
You're welcome.
I'm the great one.
So pretty much a normal CJ podcast, just he's in a car this time. So we are.
And now you get to hear me rage.
Yeah, just be handy on that mute button, Jimmy. So we are here, and we are. I suck at math. So we're 4 days out from Survivor Series.
At the time of this recording,
At the time of
yes,
this
it'll be
recording,
4
yes,
days.
we're 4 days
Three
out.
from Takeover.
Yes, we have NXT Takeover this weekend. We also have Survivor Series. We'll be making our predictions, and surprisingly enough, we'll be also talking about Raw and SmackDown, which you'd think on the go-home editions of both shows, not much on either card would be changed, but as you'll see very soon, things have changed a lot. So
Just a bit.
SmackDown hosts the man. SmackDown has the man on SmackDown.
Well,
Not anymore. Not anymore.
I mean, she's there, yeah.
The
but
man has a black eye and a broken face.
the man got fucked up by
Yeah.
Nia Jax.
Yeah, the man got stiffed.
Shit, I made the wrong turn.
This is gonna be a long night.
Yeah, we're trying to get through this as
I think
easily
I feel driving.
as possible.
Goddamn gridlock.
So I mean, let's.
Oh man, how do I turn?
CJ, shut the hell up.
I guess we'll just start with
Raw, I
with
guess,
Raw.
right?
Yeah, that would be. So we finally got an explanation from Dean Ambrose why he did what he did. That was pretty much. I think that was the main highlight of Raw for me.
Well, besides the fact that
thought that
Becky
was
got stiffed as shit.
Yes, and Raw ended, of course, with the invasion. I mean,
Oh,
they're like, "Oh, no one saw this coming." I mean, if you watched anything up to Survivor Series last year, you would have seen it coming.
Yeah, I mean, basically, Raw wasn't like anything ridiculous. Dean finally, said why, and it was pretty much just because he felt he was mistreated, so it wasn't anything like ridiculous.
It was so vague, which was really good too. It was nice because it kind of leaves more open ends to the to what could happen. It gave us enough of an explanation to pique our interest, but not too much for where it completely just gives the answer right away.
Yeah, and we didn't really need too much. Like, it's not like we needed something huge. Like there were
Since
there were
Survivor
already
Series
reasons.
has to be Raw versus SmackDown, it kind of throws some weird segments into build.
Yeah, right.
Everything gets put on the back burner until after Sunday now.
Yeah. So and then
I
beyond.
do like how Dean Ambrose burned the shield jacket. I'm always one for pyro.
I'm sure you
especially
are,
when it's used-
CJ.
Especially when it's used correctly like that. Like, that's a lasting image. Like, the last time we've had something like that was, I believe, Jericho. Yeah, Y2AJ, exactly. And that was a pretty cool scene to see, just to burn shit to the ground. And
So Dean
I think
Ambrose
it was
burned
done
it down.
phenomenally.
Not Seth Rollins.
Yes.
Dean Ambrose burned it down.
Dean Ambrose did burn it down,
Yes. Yes, he did.
We also now know that if Braun Strowman is a team player and is a good little boy and helps the Raw men win at Survivor Series, that he will get his demands, which include a rematch of the Universal Championship with Brock Lesnar, a chance to get his hands on Baron Corbin, a trip to Disneyland. I think that might have been in there, right?
Yeah, pretty much just murdering Corbin as hard as he possibly can, and then another title shot.
So there's your main event of TLC, probably.
Probably, you'd think.
It could be a chairs match, not a yawn.
Yeah, but as far as that, the rest of the row is pretty much just, the Survivor Series card taking shape, which we'll address during predictions. But there's really just one big story, which came towards the end of Raw, where Raw once again became under siege, but not quite like last year. This involved only the women. The women were the final segment, and they go to the locker room, and they see Becky Lynch putting Ronda Rousey in the disarm her. and then you see all of the SmackDown women finally showing up and really just beating the hell out of all of Raw, and it was
Which was amazing.
Yeah, it was a very cool moment. It was very good. I mean, Becky Lynch is great. She's really showing that, beyond Charlotte, like she's really good at this. Like she's starting to become less of a heel and more of just like a I don't know, like an enforcer.
She's like Steve Austin.
Yeah,
Like that hero.
Yeah, like she's just like an enforcer. Like she just calls herself the man, beat the man. Like it's not like she wins dirty or like necessarily. She's just like an enforcer, and it's really good because everyone loves her. So you can't really have her. Yeah, what were you saying?
Something I want to bring up. A lot of people have been comparing this this moment that Becky Lynch had on Raw between getting punched in the face by Nia Jax and still continuing the fight. The blood just canvassing all over her face, making it look like she's giving her girl a good time every day of the week. What I want to ask you. What I want to ask you guys is that a lot of people are comparing this. Are you good, Jared? I know this is you.
It's totally not me. Laughter
over there.
It escalated so fast. I just wasn't prepared. Whew. Go on. Wow.
All right. So a lot of people are comparing this moment to the moment that Stone Cold Steve Austin had against Bret Hart. I turn here. Okay. So the one.
What,
that,
passing out in the blood? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, the moment that really that defined him as like that main event player.
Yeah.
So I want to hear you guys' thoughts because I feel I'm in agreement. I feel like Becky Lynch has had this for a long time coming, and I feel like to close out that show in that way with that lasting image really did put her on the map in such a way where she could have a legendary career. Like this could be the genesis of her career. In this tier, as this kind of status, and the fact of how supportive the crowd has been on Raw to see a SmackDown star show up and literally beat the shit out of one of their top champions kind of goes to show how much of an impact Becky Lynch can make.
Yeah,
and I want to hear your guys' thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, Charlotte, Ronda, and Becky are really just completely reshaping women as we know it in wrestling. No, not Nikki Bella. Those three women right now are just showing
Nikki Bella's getting reshaped in a different way.
Those three women, Rousey, Charlotte, and Lynch, are literally just reshaping everything. They are just showing that they can do everything that the men can do. They are not tied down in any way. All three can talk now. You see, all three can perform super, super well in the ring. It's almost getting to the point where like you have a Survivor Series match between two of them now, and you could very well argue that maybe it is match of the night. It's so great to see just in general that we're really starting to get this big change, and I think it was definitely, CJ, as you said, completely personified in what we saw Monday night, where, for those listening, for those that don't know, basically what happened is during like the Under Siege moments, Becky came back from backstage, went down into the ring, and just started, during the fight, moshing with everyone, and Nia Jax unfortunately stiffed Becky Lynch in the face and wound up.
What a shot!
Wound up. We haven't really gotten necessarily a completely clear diagnosis, but I've heard concussion
and a broken nose.
Yeah, broken nose. I've heard bones broken in her like cheek, and like it's just very messy.
If you look at her photos on SmackDown when she made an appearance, you could see the damage that Nia Jax did by launching that punch right into her face.
Yeah,
it was kind of reminiscent of when Austin Aries got kneed in the face by Shinsuke Nakamura a number of years ago.
Yeah.
Damaging his orbital bone.
Yeah.
So.
But it's a shame that we're not getting Rousey Lynch. I would certainly hope maybe we'll get it for WrestleMania. I assume eventually we'll get it down the line. Maybe even the Rumble. You never know.
Do you think that this is better to have this put off for right now? To have Becky Lynch be. It's never a good time for a star to get injured. But would you say that this match getting postponed for a later date, possibly Royal Rumble, or even a WrestleMania moment? Do you think that this could be better for them as a whole compared to the suspected match, which we can get into right now?
Yeah.
Becky Lynch has named Ronda Rousey's new opponent for Survivor Series. A more like serious face, similar to what the Usos have done, or Stone Cold Steve Austin, where you name someone out of respect, and she named Charlotte for Survivor Series against Ronda Rousey, the match we were expecting to get at WrestleMania. Do you think this is a better switch?
Joe, you wanna?
I think it's better because I don't think Becky has had enough time to grow in this character yet. I think this character is just kind of getting off the ground. She finally got out of that Charlotte feud. We're so far in the baby stages of this new character, but I think she needs some time to let it flesh out and really kind of find her footing.
Yeah, I've been very, and we've talked about it on this podcast, that I was very curious to see like what she would do with this role, as it progressed, like through the Charlotte feud, past it, yada yada, and I am so impressed with what she has been able to do. Like, it's crazy. I never pictured her as a heel or like this badass type woman. I never pictured that at all. And she has just completely reinvented herself, and it is so impressive. So I actually felt she was completely ready. I really did. I felt Rousey Lynch definitely would have tore the freaking house down. I'm not sure. Rousey Flair is going to be outstanding. It's a WrestleMania, match. Absolutely, that's what we were all expecting. I'm expecting great things from the match for sure. I guess I'm a little disappointed that it's not happening at WrestleMania. It's peaking maybe a little too early. But I'm curious to see where they go. I think at the end of the day it might help Lynch just because of when you see it on Raw. Because what happened on Raw, for those that don't know, is after she got stiffed by Nia, she's gushing blood. Even Michael Cole's mentioning it like she's gushing blood all over her face. And she's still going, and some of the lasting images you see is they're walking up the ramp, SmackDown's like retreating and leaving after, beating everybody. And you just see Rousey in the middle of the ring, and you see Lynch, just they zoom in on her face and how bloodied it is and how disfigured it is. Becky's lifting, I believe, the belt.
She's smiling through it all. Like,
yeah.
That's the crazy part. She's smiling like this is who you'll have to fight.
Yeah, and
that's the scary part.
Yeah, and I've never seen anything like that as far as like a woman doing something like this. Like, this was so transcendent for the women's division. Like, it was outstanding, and it's just a shame that this happened. I actually thought about it when I was watching it on Raw. Like, when I saw that on Raw and I saw her face, I'm like, oh boy, that looks really serious. Like, this just doesn't look like a bruise. Like, this looks like something that could hold her out. And sure enough, the next day it happened. So, it's a shame. I do think Nia is very good, and I don't want her. I know she's starting to get a reputation now of like the Brie Bella botching reputation. I hope she doesn't get that. It does happen.
But then there's someone, in the past 2 years that she's been on the main roster.
Yeah.
You look at someone like Bayley, who got injured and then was subsequently taken out of the title picture. SummerSlam 2017, Sasha Banks to replace her. You also have her potentially injuring Asuka right after the Royal Rumble win at Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
This is the third time in a 2-year span.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
So this one literally knocked off a huge blockbuster for Survivor Series. So you got to imagine that there has to be some form of repercussions for Nia Jax.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's definitely you're right. I mean, she may just have to take a step back, maybe go back and start learning the basics again, because this was a bad injury. I mean, this was really bad. But
this is a straight punch to the face.
Yeah, it absolutely was.
Fucking for all over here in the women's division.
It's getting serious, it's getting heated. So
that road rage is already coming into effect now.
So that was pretty much Raw in a nutshell. And now we
started going into SmackDown. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is where a lot of the big stuff happened. Let's be real here. A lot of the stuff that happened on Raw that was big, the SmackDown stuff was a huge part of the Raw stuff, and you can even see that with SmackDown, how driven and how direct it was. You know, I feel like Jared was scared for a second, though, on Raw, because you saw a tag team battle royal and Strowman came down again, and all Jared could probably think of was, fuck, Nicholas, fuck!
Yeah, when I saw that him coming, I did think of that for a second. When I saw Strowman coming down, I'm like, oh, fuck me, not again. Not again. Please don't win another one. Come on. Give me a break. What, are we waiting till Christmas break? It would have been terrible. No, so moving into SmackDown, there could be some dissent, maybe some disagreement on this show. A lot happened, and it was a lot of unexpected stuff.
Just a bit.
So you jump into the start. AJ Styles is coming out talking about Brock Lesnar, right? And Paul Heyman shows up. Paul Heyman's trying to get his goat, saying Daniel Bryan's better, AJ Styles the second best wrestler.
Get his goat. That's what you did there.
I really didn't do that on purpose.
Let's see what you did there. I got
really
you.
didn't do that on purpose.
I see you, brother.
Oh God. And Paul Heyman's trying to dig into him a little bit, get him riled up, maybe get his eyes off the prize a little bit. Daniel Bryan comes out and he starts getting angry at AJ Styles for basically just mentioning his name. It seems like it was weird. And Joe and I were watching, and we were like, what is happening right now? This just looks like. And
well,
you realize that it was good storytelling at the end, but in the beginning, you're looking, you're watching, you're saying to yourself, what the hell is going on? Why are you overreacting to this? What is happening?
Yeah. You can even see this lead up though in the first couple the weeks after he lost the title match against AJ Styles the first time for the upcoming trip to Saudi Arabia on that Go Home show. You could see him getting a little frustrated, and even when he was named captains alongside The Miz, you saw them getting along. He even hit-tossed Shane afterwards for some unbeknownst reason. You could see the frustration on his face.
Yeah. Looking back, obviously you could see. I just remember watching, last week's episode when he did that to Shane. I really didn't think much of it, to be honest. I just thought his anger got the best of him. He doesn't like The Miz and moving on. But now, looking back, you could definitely see that they were planting some seeds. I just never thought they pulled this trigger. So, without ruining it, carrying on. Daniel Bryan starts coming out, talking to AJ Styles, saying don't mention my name. He's getting really angry for no reason, and it was very weird. They start to go at it. Somehow it turns into another WWE title match, which I'd like to hear your guys' opinion. I wasn't a fan of just kind of throwing that together out of nowhere just from this little fight. It wasn't. I didn't love it. Even though, and we'll get to the end, but just looking at this one piece, regardless of the winner and loser, I wasn't a huge fan of just kind of throwing this together because you realize towards the end that this has, monumental implications. And I was not a huge fan of kind of just throwing it together like that. What do you guys think?
Does anyone want to go before I have an opinion?
Oh, God.
We all know I have an opinion.
Of course you do.
I do have one thing, if I could
sure.
contribute just really quickly.
Jimmy, you haven't talked all the time.
Yeah, I know. I was busy writing our format for those prediction things. I do have a question because I don't remember. I do have a question before I give my response. When AJ and Daniel Bryan originally fought for the WWE Championship.
Oh, before Crown Jewel?
Yeah, before Crown Jewel.
Yeah.
Was that a schmaz finish, or was that a
no?
Or is that a clean?
Clean. Tapped out to the calf.
Okay, so then I agree. Then there's no making sense of that. Then.
Yeah.
If there was a schmazzy way of putting it, then you could put in this story. I wouldn't like it, but at least there would be narrative structurally. Yeah. It would have made sense.
Right.
But at the end of the day,
Bryan topped out clean to the calf crusher. That's how the first. So okay. Joe, what do you think?
All right.
Yeah, I kind of.
I thought Jimmy was giving his opinion.
I did.
He did.
I did. I said it. It doesn't make sense. That's really all I had to say.
I wasn't listening.
It didn't make sense for the timing of when this happened.
Right.
To be 6 days before or 5 days before the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And you have all this set in stone. It could be Brock versus AJ. Obviously, the Becky Lynch situation was kind of you had to deal with it on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
But you had all this go into Brock versus AJ, only to kind of pull the rug out at the last minute. And to be fair, I'm really not all that excited about Lesnar and Bryan because I think Brock Lesnar, who isn't always the safest worker might injure him.
We're spoiling it.
Right. So, all right. So basically, I guess we all kind of. Well, CJ, I'm sure you want to give your opinion.
I would, but mine is a collective as a whole, so I can give it afterwards.
Okay.
All right.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. So, right. So, looking at this, it was very rushed. I like just that in they're fighting. All of a sudden, Shane basically says, I think AJ says something in the smudge, like I want him or something like that, and Shane's like, you want him, you got him, which basically was AJ's moniker through this entire ring. Like you see, every time someone comes after him, he'll run to Paige and be like, I want him. So, like, which was cool, definitely, but. So we, you fast forward now. So now the main event is AJ Styles against Daniel Bryan. As far as anything notable on SmackDown, like big notable things happening because of this match, Daniel Bryan got bounced from the Survivor Series men's team, replaced by Jeff Hardy. And
as much as I love Jeff Hardy, it should have went to Almas. Or Rusev.
Definitely. Yeah, Almas could have been good.
I'm rooting for Rusev.
Rusev could have been good. I mean, Jeff Hardy was like the second choice last week, so I guess I see why.
I think because they just need a name, that's why they need it.
Yeah.
And as much as I think we all loved Rusev and even Almas.
Almas, yeah.
Almas, I think would have been better.
Well, Almas has been taking losses, unfortunately. So I mean, I don't know why he lost clean to who?
Hardy.
Jeff Hardy, right? There you go.
Oh, so that's probably
right. So there you go. Why he lost like straight, whatever. So and then obviously the other notable thing is Becky handing the reins over to Charlotte, creating Rousey Flair for.
Who do you think is going to be the replacement for Charlotte on the SmackDown team?
That's still TBA.
Yeah, we'll get to that as we jump to predictions. There's several ways you can go about it, so we'll get to it.
I've been hearing a lot of rumors about who it could be and stuff, and the ways that they've been bringing it about. I'm very interested to see how this goes.
Yeah,
Santina Morella.
So
Santina.
God, shut the fuck up!
There he is.
I do want to say one thing about that actually makes me pretty upset about this whole situation that Daniel Bryan, AJ, and Brock are in right now, is that we're not going to get AJ breaking CM Punk's record.
Yeah.
So as of right now, CM Punk still holds that monocle and will forever hold that monocle until,
I don't know, Brock Lesnar, man.
Who gives a fuck? He holds a useless title belt that no one cares about.
What about Pete Dunne?
What do you say, Pete Dunne?
You still can... Yeah, Pete Dunne's hold it much
Yeah, but
longer
that's
than
for
Brock.
a belt that people do care about, but it's not the WWE Championship. Don't.
Don't turn that into
They cares
something.
about it.
It needs to be the
They care
WWE
about the
Championship.
UK belt as much as the Brock Lesnar belt. It's not in the fucking Universal Championship anymore. It's the fucking Lesnar belt. It's the one where he bleeded on to create after his fucking Undertaker match at like fucking Hell in a Cell in 2015. No one gives a fucking
It's
All right,
the Suplex City Championship.
Let's rein it in.
Universal
We've been doing well. We've been doing.
Half of the fucking people that watch this don't even believe in the universe. They don't believe in this big theory bullshit. They're fucking creationists. God damn it. They don't even believe in this Universal Championship bullshit.
All I hear is static and curse words. That's like all I'm getting. Is static and
Rein
curse
it in,
words.
rein it in,
That's
buddy.
pretty much
Rein it in.
CJ's
Static.
rants.
Moving on.
You
Oh shit.
me. You mute the truth.
We
He half
100%
muted
can.
himself.
I don't know right now if he could still hear us, but we muted him for like 2 seconds. Hold on. I'm going to unmute him and see what happens.
You mute me. Motherfucker.
Okay,
CJ
we're going to let him calm down for a second.
CJ, you're gonna play nice. You gotta play nice now. All right.
His Bluetooth connection shit, by the way.
Yeah, we're sorry about we'll figure something out. Hopefully it's something that you can work on.
I'm calm. I'm calm, damn it. Put me back on air. Put me back on air.
You're on
air.
there. You're on. You're on.
You're on air. All right. So you move to the main event, and you have Bryan against Styles for the WWE Championship. Again, great
The
match.
real championship.
Yeah.
Yes, the real one.
Again, great match. Not taking anything away. But you move to the end. I believe Styles went for a phenomenal forearm. Daniel Bryan stepped out of the way, hit the referee. Referee was down. Daniel Bryan then low blows AJ Styles in what might just be one of the biggest shocks of a very long time as far as a turn. And Daniel Bryan officially turns heel, low blows him without the ref seeing, hits Styles with the knee, 1, 2, 3. Daniel Bryan ends AJ Styles' 371-day reign. Daniel Bryan is now a heel WWE champion and will now take on Brock Lesnar at Survivor Series. Wow.
All right.
Wow.
May I throw in an opinion now?
Yes, go ahead.
You
We're
would anyway.
We're letting you. Yes, go on.
All right. First off, congrats to Daniel Bryan for being WWE champion, for regaining his belt. I don't care if you pulled a Shinsuke Nakamura. You did it better than Shinsuke Nakamura.
Agreed.
Yep, I agree with that.
Second, all right. The big thing here I want everyone to think about is that overall the storytelling was great, and I want to give you the reason why. So we know how Shane McMahon went into Crown Jewel, right? And how he won, how he's the best in the world.
Yeah, best professional wrestler in the world. Got it.
Yes, CM Punk, Jace, got it.
Yes. You know how he's kind of looking to get that heel turn, right?
Yeah, as the best professional wrestler in the world. Yep, go on.
Yep.
Okay. So Shane McMahon made this match official, right, for the WWE Championship?
Sure.
And you know how Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon are buds, right?
Okay, I see. I see.
I
I
see
see
the
where
I
line.
you
gotta
go.
say, the
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 line's
line
so good.
crossing over here is actually pretty good.
Yeah, look at this. Look at this connection all by yourself, huh?
Yeah, I know, right?
He never stays in the lines.
So I could see this easily playing out as, one, Daniel Bryan is extremely frustrated. You know, he still has not gotten his obligatory one-on-one WWE Championship rematch that he was supposed to get back prior to when he retired. But now that he's holding the championship, you can also make the argument that he's been frustrated with his role. You know, he really hasn't gotten any, he hasn't gotten anything. You know, he hasn't really been offered much. You know, he's really still had to fight, scratch, and claw to get his belt. And lo and behold, Luke grants him a WWE Championship opportunity smack dab in the middle of the blue. You know, Shane McMahon. So you could make the argument that Shane McMahon and Bryan could be authority status. You know what I mean? You could make that argument. You can make that case. And I think that is probably the best way to facilitate a Daniel Bryan heel turn is to align him with a McMahon. The only problem that I see with this is that I feel like the fans will cheer. The fans will not be opposed to this, be opposed to Daniel Bryan finally getting the WWE Championship, similar to how Becky Lynch turned. I think that's going to be the only problem, but I would love to see a more aggressive, we'll do whatever it takes to get the belt Daniel Bryan, similar to what we've seen in Ring of Honor, to his original WWE World Heavyweight Championship title run back in 2011, 2012. And that's when he got over originally, was 2012 with his heel run. You know, if everyone remembers Team Hell No, his therapy sessions brought about by AJ Lee. You know, this could be very good to revitalize a stale Daniel Bryan, who, as Miz put it, and put it correctly, he was living off his fame from 4 years ago.
Yeah,
he was living off that popularity.
I think it's definitely a good point for sure that you could spin this in a way where we're all saying to ourselves like, why is Shane McMahon just throwing a title shot out here? You make a good case that in a perfect world, that's probably the best way they could handle this. Is you make Shane McMahon, who really needs to be a heel, especially after all this Crown Jewel crap, and Daniel Bryan now turns heel. That's a great way to spin this. If they do wind up doing that, that would be great. I'm never one for, betting on WWE making the right booking decision, so you don't know. But that is definitely the best way to do this on paper. My opinion is, like you said, CJ, I don't care what he does. They won't boo him. They won't do it. I mean, during SmackDown, there was a lot of shock. There was barely any booing, and there were quite a few yes chants. So, I'm not huge on it. I think that his heel run early was great. No one's disputing that. But after him coming back, after all of this and all he's gone through, I hope that they spin this with McMahon, maybe make something out of this, but I really hope this wasn't just a cheap thing just so we didn't get Lesnar Styles twice. I really hope that, because that's...
It could be that they didn't want to do AJ Styles twice. It also could be that they needed a replacement cluster main event that would have replaced Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch. Well, actually, no. I heard reports that this was supposed to be the plan prior to the Becky Lynch situation. As you know, over the weekend, there were talks about
supposedly what they were saying was once they wanted Brock to win, and this is where I get a little frustrated from all this, because the reason supposedly Daniel Bryan, and this is via a Cultaholic, the YouTube channel that we listen to involving wrestling, was saying that supposedly Daniel Bryan was actually the one that wanted the heel turn. And he was the one looking for it.
I heard about that pitch.
Yeah. So as far as that's one separate entity. Last week, because Lesnar Styles was what was set up, Vince McMahon planned this and said, we want Bryan to win so we can get something different. And then eventually Bryan's like, okay, well, I want to be heel, make me champion. Let's spin this as one big heel turn, which is interesting. How that all came to be. What frustrates me is that, again, you better do something with this. Like you really better turn this into something good. You really better make him heel. You better make him bad, because you gotta have somebody boo him. It can't just be like what it is with Becky Lynch. You know what I mean? Like where in the beginning she curse out the crowd and they cheer her. It's working out.
I think though that this could be. I'd rather it be like a Becky Lynch situation though, because if you're having it like a Becky Lynch situation, you could see how hot the crowd is for her. And Daniel Bryan's been mania. He hasn't been on top. He hasn't been as hot as he was back in the Authority storyline. I feel like that this could get him back to that level, that type of aggression. I feel like that this could, this could remake his mark on WWE.
Yeah, no,
bring him back.
Yeah, I hope you're right. I really hope that they do something with this, because what frustrates me is the main reason that this was done was really directly, immediately, was just so he didn't get Brock Styles again. And if that is the case, then you are breaking up a fantastic title reign with AJ Styles, and you could have just had Strowman beat Lesnar. It would have been a different match. Strowman was deserving. We all know. We all freaked out last week about it. But
we did? I don't remember that.
I don't remember. The woman came in and told us. I don't remember that.
Yeah, no.
She was a Brock Lesnar fan. Let's be real here. She was a Brock Lesnar fan.
Yeah, definitely.
She clearly liked Suplex City. Yeah,
she was the
treasurer of Suplex City.
Yeah, right. She was the Secretary of Defense for Suplex City.
Something else I want to bring up, though, that not a lot of people are talking about.
Oh, boy.
So, we all know what the finals of the Mixed Match Challenge are going to be, right?
Yeah, I could look it up, but I don't. I have been bad with this.
Styles Flair against Moon and Strowman.
It's going to be Braun Strowman and Ember Moon versus AJ Styles and Charlotte. That's what it's looking like it's going to be.
Yeah.
So.
And mind you, if you guys didn't know, the winners of the Mixed Match Challenge will be the 30th entrant in each Royal Rumble. I don't know if you guys knew that.
That's what I wanted to bring up.
Yeah.
Because with that news, and with Daniel Bryan, being the WWE champion that he is, he's probably going to hold the belt till Mania.
Maybe, and could Styles and Flair do it, and then that's maybe how you get, hell if I know, Flair Rousey rematch,
or it could go in the complete opposite direction, and you have Ember Moon win that one along with Braun Strowman, and then that's how we get Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar Mania.
Either one.
The only thing with that is I've heard that they're planning something big for Royal Rumble for Brock Lesnar. That does not include Braun Strowman. So I could see Brock Lesnar. What I could see is I could see Drew McIntyre or AJ Styles being the realistic two winners of the Royal Rumble. Like I see AJ Styles and Charlotte winning. I see them winning the main Mixed Match Challenge. As the men's match is concerned, I see it as either Drew McIntyre or AJ Styles being victorious and going on to challenge their respective champions.
Yeah, Drew McIntyre definitely feels like the Royal Rumble winner. That'll definitely agree with.
Yeah, the women's match, however, I don't see Charlotte, because of what's happening right now, I don't see Charlotte winning unless they cue it as a redemption storyline. The only other option that I could see winning the Rumble would be Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch drops the title.
To who though?
You know how I mentioned
to
the
who?
injury storyline.
Who would Becky drop it to?
Well, you remember how I mentioned that injury title picture? If Becky Lynch cannot defend the title and has to withdraw it, I could see her relinquishing the title, coming back for Mania season at the Royal Rumble, winning the Rumble, and then going on to face Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's Championship.
So Becky would be flipping? You'd say she'd flip to Raw?
I would say she would challenge Ronda Rousey in the match that they were supposed to have, but never did because.
Oh, like not challenge for the title though, or just fight.
No,
for
but
no.
Win the Rumble and then switch brands.
Yes.
Right, so that's what you said. Right, so win the Rumble and switch brand. I don't know. It seems very convoluted. But
Well,
I
mean,
think
this is
it's
professional
convoluted, but-
wrestling.
that's true. That's true.
But if she has to relinquish the title, I feel like that would be the best case scenario.
And it's the best time to
If
give it to
not-
Asuka.
If she's not in the Rumble, Charlotte would easily be the safe pick. I'm just saying that, realistically, there's only 4 winners for the Rumbles in a total. Drew McIntyre, AJ Styles, Charlotte Flair, and Becky Lynch.
I feel like Ember Moon's a good dark horse candidate.
Yeah, you can't. You definitely can't. Especially if they're able to win the mixed match challenge, then obviously you definitely have to put Ember Moon in that conversation. So I
don't know. They talk up the number 30 spot so much, but I don't know.
Well, it's
I
been
feel like
terrible the
AJ
past
Styles
2
had
years. What was it? Roman then Dolph the past 2 years?
It was Dolph this past one, and then
Right, and
I believe Roman the year before.
Right.
Yep.
So, and then the year before that was Triple H?
It was
Randy-
Roman the year before because that was
Triple H 3
was
years
the
ago?
year before that. Triple H was 3 years ago. Yeah, because he came in.
Yeah,
at
it was
number 30
Randy. It was Randy
to,
Orton. That's right. Randy Orton won
for the
that one.
championship.
The one with Roman.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
when Triple
Roman
H...
won towards WrestleMania 32.
Right, Triple H was
Triple
number
H won
30 and won.
2016 for
Yeah.
the 30 spot.
Right, and then Roman Reigns was number 30 and Randy Orton won. Dolph Ziggler, and then who won the... Oh, Shinsuke. Right. What a waste.
Both Rumbles were.
What a waste. All right, so, I'm curious to see where they go with it. I hope it works out.
Who would you like to see Daniel Bryan versus though at Mania? That's what I want to know. Who would be the realistic option? You have AJ Styles, who
Right.
would probably be the best babyface candidate to verse him, or you have The Miz, who could turn face.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
To,
Like you could turn Miz face. It would be interesting to
such
see
a good
a
But I
heel
don't know
thing.
how to feel about that.
Yeah, he's such a good heel. I mean,
know, but
he's
that-
just in such a good spot.
If we put a different spin on it, you have everyone's favorite Daniel Bryan, who's the heel, and then everyone's like, yeah, we love him, but we like him better as a heel, but as a babyface, Miz. It's an interesting
It's
storytelling.
definitely interesting. No, it's definitely interesting. I would find it would be so ironic that the two would flip that
Yeah, I know.
way.
I know.
Like,
That would be
crazy.
great.
Right, like Miz has been saying to Bryan, like, you need to do what's necessary. You need to be a dick. Bryan becomes that, and somehow Miz flips the other way. That would be pretty interesting. Or maybe I don't know. I mean, AJ Styles is really the only one really popping into my mind. I mean, Rey Mysterio maybe. You never. Obviously those two would burn the house down. So
I feel like Rey Mysterio would be the best case scenario for a Royal Rumble match. I don't see him as a Mania contender right now.
well, you know
I feel like
Styles
AJ
is
Styles would be the best
Styles
case
is getting his
scenario.
Styles is getting his rematch. So that's gonna happen either in December or the Royal Rumble would be my guess, right? You'd think
It
maybe
could happen at TLC for all we know. Though.
right. It probably
It could
will.
happen at TLC.
And it very well could, and who knows what? For all we know, Styles wins it back. Or for all we know, Styles wins it back.
Batista challenges Daniel Bryan.
Did you say Batista?
Holy shit!
Yeah, he
we
did
completely
Batista.
forgot about that.
I guess.
Maybe.
Yeah, what gets that rematch from WrestleMania 30? That'd be
maybe.
interesting.
Yeah, I get.
Or
Yeah.
you put Batista back in the Royal Rumble.
And he wins.
And he wins.
And he wins.
No.
Oh fuck.
That time would be good though. So I don't know.
There's a lot of smoke around Cien Almas for the Rumble season. I mean, there's just a lot.
But he's losing. Like I heard that too. But he's losing. Like what are they trying to do?
Yeah,
Like
but you
get
see
us off
that-
the trail?
Yeah.
But you see that pattern a lot too with Royal Rumble potential Royal Rumble
Money in the
winners
Bank
or
a lot.
Money in the Bank winners. Yeah, they'll lose a lot, so you don't expect them, and then they come out and win.
Right. So
You know,
you never know. Almas could face Bryan. I mean, that would be really good too.
I think that's That's rushing almost too much, though.
It depends how they do it. What if? Well, what if it does really come out of nowhere? You know, he wins the Rumble and they really start building him up. You never know. There's still a lot of time.
You don't.
So
something I want to bring up with you guys before we go into predictions, because I'm assuming that we're going to end for the predictions soon.
Yeah, soon.
What are your thoughts on this? Because you could see over the past, I'm going to say, year, we've had a lot of perennial baby faces turn heel into fantastic runs. You know, you see that with Sami Zayn when he aligned with Kevin Owens. You saw that with Johnny Gargano when he turned heel against Aleister Black. You see that with Becky Lynch, who is in the midst of the best run of her career. Essentially see that same thing with Daniel Bryan. What are your thoughts on WWE changing turning these baby faces into these heels? Because WWE's been really, they've been making it apparent. I'm not sure if you guys have noticed or not.
No, I see what you're saying. I think it's tough. I agree with you that I think it needed to happen for Sami Zayn because it was pretty stale going into it. Let's be honest on that one. Johnny was an interesting turn for story purposes because no one saw that one coming.
I could see him getting moved back to babyface very soon.
I could see it flipping back.
I know, same.
I could see that too.
And I think it's just, and I think the reason why they're turning him heel for now is so that way when they get to face Tommaso,
he's getting him away from Ciampa long enough to make the match feel
right.
more
And that
important.
actually jumps into like the prediction of Gargano Black, like how we see like eventually maybe like comes back around. But we'll get into that.
And then when it comes to Becky,
I thought it was bad. I did. I thought it was bad, but I'm so shocked at what she's doing.
I think crazy. I agree with you. It started off, I think, just the
we talked about.
of
We
it.
weren't happy. We wanted like Charlotte to flip, and
yeah,
Becky, so,
that's what it should have happened.
Right. But I'm pleasantly surprised.
But how it progressed, I think, made it better.
Yeah, I think that I like what they do, and I also think you know, they always say that it's easier to make someone make the crowd hate you than make the crowd love you. That's what you know, a lot of WWE superstars say. It's a lot easier to be heel than face. So I don't know. It's and
these guys, not to these guys, they're getting more beloved. Except for Sami Zayn.
What I'm saying is like, not by easier be hated. I mean like do the job. Like obviously everyone
being the heel.
Right.
Like what you're supposed to. It's
like
different.
Right.
Crowd reaction and what it's supposed to happen are two different things.
Right. Like everyone unquote hates the Miz, but everyone really like loves what he's doing. But because he's an amazing heel. So that's what I'm saying. And they also turned to Ambrose too. I think it's interesting. I think we're making a lot of switches. Like when Kevin Owens comes back, supposedly he's going to be a face. So Lord knows what that means with Sami Zayn. I think it's interesting, just like all these flips. And I'm curious to see what they do. Like I've been skeptical. Like I was so skeptical of Becky Lynch, but it worked out. So I'm curious to see where they go. And I'm trying to like have faith in it. You know, the booking can be just so crazy sometimes. Some could be just such a spot on, amazing thing, and other times it could just be such a shit show like Crown Jewel. So I don't know.
I think it's also a testament to these wrestlers' connection to what the crowd as being because you to get that reaction. For that, you know, they're very you can give a testament to WWE, but also to the wrestlers about that. And the fact that we're so shocked by these turns and we're like, oh my God, you know, you can't believe it happened shows how much we were connected to these characters, which I think the only other babyface that I can think of that would need to turn heel for us to get that type of emotion and reaction would be someone like Bayley. Bayley would be the last person that we would expect to become heel. Similar to Johnny Gargano or Daniel Bryan or Becky Lynch or Sami Zayn.
That was a bad joke.
But yeah, I just think it's I think that what WWE is doing, I think they're creating a lot of great baby faces, you know, and like sticking to them to being babyface for so long really does show, you know, and you can see that with a lot of different wrestlers from the past couple of years where when they turned them, they were excelling in the role because it was new to them. You know, I want to bring up Kofi Kingston. He was never heel prior to being a part of the New Day. And then back in 2015, he turned heel. and it did wonders for his career. It was rejuvenated. It worked out very perfectly to be a heel for him, and you could see that going with a lot of these stars as well. So a lot of long-term baby faces to transfer into heel, it's more of not even just being a bad guy. It's more of just a rejuvenation.
Yeah, I think you could say. I think you said the same thing about Finn Balor. I think Finn Balor would be. I think he was a heel on the independent scene, if I remember correctly.
Part of Bullet Club, and
Yeah.
they were like a heel stable for a little bit, but then people started to really like him, so it
Right.
was like, tweener.
Right. So like, but you could turn him too, and that could because he's been kind of stale. I mean, thank God he's in the Survivor Series 5-on-5 match.
Probably
but-
first elimination. Right?
Yeah, right. He might be the first one to take the pin from Shane McMahon, the best professional wrestler in the world. But I digress. I think you could say that about a lot of these guys, like all these different turns, especially from face to heel. Like that definitely rejuvenates people. I don't want to say if it's good or bad yet because I just want to see where all of it leads. I want to see where they go, and I'm just curious. I'll tell you one thing: it's definitely a lot of shock, and it's definitely a lot of curiosity. At least that's for me. So.
And it shakes it up in a very good way. It shakes it up in a very good way.
Yeah, definitely.
But I just wanted to bring up that point because that point's actually been on my mind for a while. The amount of really cookie cutter baby faces that we've had, and between Bayley and John Cena, actually, because John Cena is the another one that I could see turning heel for that role. And, it's interesting. It's very interesting to see how this all plays out. And I'm very curious, and I'm very excited to see that, actually.
Yeah, no, absolutely. All right, so you want to take a break, and then we'll jump into predictions for Takeover and Survivor Series.
Did you get the new commercial, you bitch?
No, I didn't. All right.
God damn it, Jimmy.
Hello, Audio Marks. I am one of your Marks for Life podcast, so CJ, coming to talk to you about Patreon. Patreon is a place where you guys can go online and pledge your support to your favorite music artists, to your favorite artists, and even your favorite podcasts, like us. We at Marks for Life podcast have our own Patreon page, and we are always appreciative of our Marks for Life podcast pledges. So for only $1 a month, you too can also pledge your support to us. But that's not all. With $2 a month, you can get all of our podcast episodes, as well as a special shout out from the Shield of Wrestling podcast, Jimmy, CJ, and Joe. And even further, you can get all of that with $3 a month, plus a follow back on Twitter and Instagram. So, what are you guys waiting for? Head on over to Patreon at patreon.com. Search for us at Marks for Life Podcast. And we'll see you then, Audio Marks. Thank you very much. Back to the show.
And we're back.
That was a very reserved CJ commercial.
I got none of
That
that.
could have been Swahili.
Anyway, let's do these predictions.
Yes. So we're gonna do. This is for the belt. This is the last one, and then we might have either retaining the title or we'll have a new champion. Just as a recap, currently Fudge Jew is up 2 on CJ and 6 on Jimmy.
If Jimmy somehow pulls a clean sweep out of his ass this weekend,
Yeah, we want to see where the predictions go. If there are 6 differences, we may just leave it at that. If there isn't, we'll see what we want to do so Jimmy can have like a puncher's chance at this. And then
So if Jimmy gets it correct, like all of them, he should get the belt.
Well, it depends if there's differences. Because if let's say there's 6 differences, he gets them all correct, then then you move on. It's a tie.
Yeah,
But you also have to reward those that are leading. You can't even if it's perfect. That's just like.
All right, we'll work out the semantics about it later. Let's focus on.
I'm
these
like
predictions.
arguing with him, and I'm getting like half static. So it's like I'm getting into an argument that I can barely
it's like
understand.
screaming at a wall.
Yeah, it's like I can't even understand.
I'm not sure if I'm coming off clearly or not half the time. So
Sometimes.
One thing I want to ask: do we have like most eliminations in Soul Survivors?
No, we don't need that.
Come on, it'd be fun.
I don't think we need that. I mean, we could do it for fun, but I don't want to make. It shouldn't be part of the predictions, but we could just do it for fun.
That's how we did it with the Rumble. Most eliminations,
Yeah, that's Rumble though. It's a little.
I mean, we have 11 matches to go over.
12 matches.
12
matches. 4 from NXT, 8 from Survivor Series. That's what I have.
Oh, yep, my bad.
So
I'm not
I mean,
counting, right?
we have there's a lot of stuff. So if we could do it for fun, but I don't think we should be doing it for like.
Why
because
not?
it-
What's the worst that can happen?
Jimmy could sneak up and win this whole thing.
Yeah, right. We're creating too much bedlam. We could do it for fun. All right, let's get to NXT Takeover.
Yep.
So, Jimmy, if you want to start, you want to introduce the.
Well,
first
yeah,
matches?
I'll introduce the matches. So we have Johnny Gargano versus Aleister Black. What?
Yo, fuck you. That's my job.
Well,
No,
you're driving
putting
at the
NXT
moment.
takeover-
CJ, we could
I
barely
know what
understand.
it is.
CJ, we could barely understand you. Just shut the hell up and listen. Go, Jimmy.
No, this is my job.
Mute him,
Damn
mute
it.
him,
mute him,
That's
mute him,
the
mute him. Mute him.
fucking call.
All
Okay,
right.
he's muted.
Yeah,
we're sorry, buddy. We
Yeah,
have
we're
to-
sorry, but we're just gonna mute you until we can introduce the card, then we'll bring you
All
back.
NXT Takeover, we have Johnny Gargano versus Aleister Black. Shayna Baszler versus Kairi Sane for the NXT Women's Championship. Tommaso Ciampa versus Velveteen Dream for the NXT Championship. And Undisputed Era versus War Raiders, Ricochet, and Pete Dunne in a WarGames match.
Yeah.
Okay, hold up.
Yeah, with the Undisputed Era having the lead. God damn it, Jimmy. Put me back on air.
We are back on air.
The whole card's been introduced already.
Yeah, cards been introduced. So, what are we jumping into? Gargano Black? You want to
Yeah,
start?
Yeah, let's start with Gargano Black.
All right. So, Jimmy, you want to go first?
You cock.
Oh my God. We will mute you again.
Jimmy has a lot of power in his thumb.
I'm picking Aleister Black for this one, only because I still want to prolong Johnny Gargano as much as I possibly can away from Tommaso Ciampa.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So I feel like the next viable option would be to get that real rematch clause that Aleister Black needs.
Yeah, I think we pretty much completely agree. We're also going Aleister Black. We think that this heel turn, this can go. This is going to be a close match. I can see this going either way for sure. I think you could say that you could turn this into this is his heel turn. This is how he jumps back in because he's been on a losing streak. This is how he gains momentum again. But you're right. If he does win, this brings him right at the doorstep of Ciampa. And do you really want to do this that early? Also, we believe that eventually he's going to make that turn back to face, and I think what this will do is he's become so desperate that he's become a heel, and if he loses this, it's like he would feel so adrift, like what is he supposed to do, like face didn't work, heel didn't work, like he needs to continue that arc of always just coming up just short. So very close, but I think we're gonna go with Aleister Black as well. CJ, who do you have?
I'm going to throw my name in for Aleister Black. I am agreeing with the Fudge Jew that that I think that this heel turn, because the way that Johnny Gargano described it, he said that he never turned in the first place. He's just not afraid to get dirty, and he's kind of in the dark. I could see this going so dark, so deep for Johnny Gargano, that if he loses, I could see him flipping out and attacking Aleister. I could see him going so far into the deep end and getting so desperate.
Right.
But I can agree with Jared and Joe that this kind of losing streak, it'll really, really hammer into this. No matter what he does, he seems to take big one. So many, and it also does catapult Aleister Black into that title match that he never received, that one-on-one rematch. And I think that Aleister Black is going to win this. I feel like that he has it in his power to win. And I can also see this prolonging the feud with Gargano. Should Aleister Black and Tommaso Ciampa meet again, I could see Gargano actually turning on Black, costing him the match intentionally, and then maybe getting that triple threat we actually were supposed to get back at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Before we get on to the rest of the predictions, there's probably a slight problem with the connection with you, CJ. And also my phone's about to die, so we got to rush through these predictions.
Yeah, it sounds like Super Mario music. Every time CJ speaks, it's
We'll keep working on the telecommunication for this, but I feel like it's still a rounding success on how it's going. So
Joe also call me through Google?
I don't know. Does he have Google Hangout?
I don't use Google Hangouts now.
No. All right. So we'll just rush through the rest of the predictions, and then we'll be more prepared about it next week.
What if I just call Joe and he just puts me up to the thing?
I think it needs to be
It's
through
gonna sound
Google
awful.
Hangouts.
I can't
Let's
just
just-
put you against my mic. It's gonna sound terrible.
Let's just rush through the rest of these predictions because I still have battery life, but not a lot.
All right.
So let's just rush through the rest of them. So next one is Shayna versus Kyrie for the NXT Women's Championship.
All right. We're going with Shayna Baszler.
Two-
We don't really think there's a
match. 2 out of 3 falls.
2 out of 3 falls
It's a
match.
2 out of
yes.
3 falls match.
Yeah, 2 out of 3 falls match. Yeah, we're going with Shayna Baszler. We don't really think there's a point of her losing the belt.
Jessamine Duke and Shannon Ping Pong are gonna get involved.
Jimmy.
Same. I don't know what that was.
Oh, I'm going Baszler.
Baszler.
Going Baszler.
Baszler just won it, and because you got the 2 other 4 horsewomen. They're probably going to factor into the match again, and this is probably going to lead to a 3-on-3 between this trio versus Toni Storm, Io Shirai, and Kairi Sane.
Should have been a female War Games.
Yeah, I know. That would have been
That
great.
would have been really cool. Yeah, that
It would have been a great War Games match, but nah. Fuck
I'll
WWE
ask the question really quickly when we get to that match specific, because I have a question I want to ask about it. But let's move on to the next one.
Sure.
NXT Championship match, Tommaso Ciampa, Velveteen Dream.
Yeah, similarly, there's really no point in Ciampa losing this belt. It's going to be a fantastic match. Really, the whole card is going to be just gangbusters. Like 4 matches, they may all get 5 stars.
Gangbusters.
Yeah, gangbusters.
Yeah.
Yeah, gangbusters. So we're picking Ciampa to retain again in a just fantastic match. Jimmy?
Same. It kills me because I really want the Dream to win because I feel like it's his time.
It's a lot of people. I mean, there's a lot of people,
It's,
but
it hurts me. It hurts me
Yeah.
a lot to not say Dream, but I got to go with Tommaso on this one.
yeah. CJ?
I'm going to throw my name in with Ciampa. Ciampa has just the best shot, and the 2 likely contenders for his next belt for the NXT Championship as a whole are very directly related to him. Storyline purposes. So I feel like it's just built-in story. And the Team Dream, unfortunately, a stopgap, but I could see him holding it in the future. If not, he could probably be one of the most over characters to never win championship belts. And I would love to see Dream also on that path as well.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
All right, the next match, Undisputed Era versus War Raiders, Ricochet, and Pete Dunne. I have War Raiders.
Undisputed Era also.
Undisputed Era? All right.
Just to let you know, Undisputed Era also has the leg up on this. They have the advantage. It's going to be a spoiler on NXT tonight, but I believe Bobby Fish or Kyle O'Reilly, one of the 2, is going to beat Hanson, and then they're going to get the advantage. So it's going to be Undisputed Era getting their man out first.
So this,
okay.
So this is my question that I wanted to ask about it. So this is going to be completely different from last year's War Games, where 3 teams at different times. It's actually going to look and feel more like a traditional War Games match. Are we excited about that?
Yes, it is.
Are we excited about that?
I'm excited about all of it, to be completely honest with you. I think it's all just fantastic.
It's banger.
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 This is for me, for us, definitely the toughest one to call. You could see this going either way, because in one sense you say Undisputed Era's been on a roll, they're the champs, can they really afford a loss? On the other hand, you say, okay, Ricochet has a belt, Pete Dunne has a belt, War Raiders are just getting started. Can they really afford the loss? In a completely other way, you say, okay, they're all going to murder each other, so at the end of the day, if anyone takes a pin, is anyone really taking a step back? It's just going to be chaos. It's going to be fantastic. We're going with Undisputed Era. They have the experience. They won it a year before. They are the big champs. And I don't really think anyone could get worse from someone taking the pin. Maybe Ricochet goes for something huge and hits, misses. That could lead to the end. And especially hearing now that Undisputed Era is starting with a slight edge, that also definitely leans us toward Undisputed Era.
I'm going to put my money in on the Undisputed Era. I'm in agreement with Jared and Joe that they have the cohesion. They've already won a match previously under the War Games rules. And them being at full power really does help them. You always have to get the edge to an established team over someone that's mishmash like this. And in addition, you could protect the War Raiders. They don't have to eat the pin. I am going to disagree with Jared and Joe on how this will end. I feel like it's going to lead more to an implosion between Ricochet and Pete Dunne.
Oh, that's
I
interesting.
can see them conflicting, and I can easily see like a champion-to-champion match. Or what I would love to see is I would like to see something similar to how WrestleMania 16 happened. I believe it was 16. It was Kurt Angle, Chris Benoit, and Chris Jericho with the Intercontinental and the European Championships on the line. And then the first fall would decide this winner, and the second fall would decide the other champion. I would like to see that between Ricochet, Pete Dunne, and say someone like Adam Cole or Roderick Strong. I would like to see that type of match where all the belts are on the line. So that's something that I could see. But I think War Raiders are going to get protected, and I think they're going to be the ones to take the belts off at Undisputed Era. I just don't think they need this win to do so.
Yeah, definitely. So that's Takeover for Saturday. Should be fantastic. Really looking forward to it. Probably will be better than Survivor Series.
It's gonna blow my balls off.
Yeah, it's gonna be fantastic.
Yeah, agreed. But
I think the only reason why it's going to be better is because Becky Lynch isn't going to be on this card for Survivor Series. They were getting carried by that match.
Yeah, of course. Becky Lynch definitely drives everything.
She's the man.
I didn't say mine. I'm picking War Raiders and Ricochet and Pete Dunne. Only
you did
because
say that.
I didn't really give an explanation
Yeah,
behind it. You kind of cut me off on it. But my only explanation behind it is actually the exact opposite reason that CJ said, is that because they're a cohesive unit, not all the time cohesive units win WarGames matches. Case in point, what is it?
I don't know.
The Four Horsemen have been in four different. The Four Horsemen have been in like 4 different WarGames matches, and every single time they've been in, they've lost against whoever they were facing. So there's no statistical
formula.
There's no statistical reason to believe that just because they're all 4 men are cohesive team that they're gonna win. There's no statistical evidence.
But if you want to look at recent years, you have Undisputed Era, who's already undefeated in WarGames matches.
Which it was a hybrid. It was a hybrid WarGames match. There was no.
I'm just saying, you have that, and you also have someone like I'm gonna throw in the Shield because the NXT. The Undisputed Era is kind of like an NXT version of the Shield in a way. They were undefeated in 6-man tag matches for a very long time. So,
6-man tags and WarGames are 2 different things, buddy. 2 different things. Also, if I might add, if you want to put in Undisputed Era winning that match, you're forgetting that Sanity was in there as well, and they were also a cohesive unit. So your whole logical reason behind it doesn't make sense.
Their linchpin wasn't in the match. Nikki Cross wasn't in the match. That is the only reason they're going to win.
That's how you're basing your whole thing on, is their linchpins. Yeah, okay, we're not having this fight right now.
Can I just say something? Even through satellite, the 2 of you are at each other. I love every second of it. That is fantastic.
You two could never be
Sorry, that was a real nerd. I had to really put that one out there. I'm sorry.
You two could never be co-champions.
Yeah, right. I don't think you're talking about cohesive units. I don't think it would work between the 2 of you. Oh God! Man. All right, let's jump into Survivor
Everyone
Series.
knows that the Great One works alone.
Oh boy, God, this is gonna be a great one. Anyway, let's move on to Survivor Series. We have the men's tag match, Raw vs. SmackDown. Women's tag match, Raw vs. SmackDown. Tag team match, Raw vs. SmackDown. Then you have Buddy Murphy versus Mustafa Ali for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura, AOP versus The Bar, Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte, and then finally topping it off at what could be, a rough match. The end of Daniel Bryan, Brock Lesnar versus Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start with these matches. Raw versus SmackDown. Who's gonna win the most?
Oh, like who's gonna?
How many matches do we have in the card? 7 or 8?
There's a total of 8, but as far as
one
of them's cruiserweight. So as far as Raw versus SmackDown, there's 7. We're picking Raw 4-3. That's what we want. Why? That's how it's gonna wind up for us in our predictions.
Yeah, I did not do that. So I did 5-2 in Raw.
5-2 Raw. Okay.
Yeah, 5-2 Raw.
5-2 in Raw. Okay.
But let's focus on the tag ones for right. Let's focus on the main Survivor Series match styles of it. Right. So let's do it with the tag team.
The tag match you want to do? Okay. So we're picking for the tag match. We're picking SmackDown. It's gonna be. I believe it is on the kickoff show, right?
Correct.
Or pre-show, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Pretty much everyone on the Raw team's terrible, except for Revival, who are being booked as terrible. You have the Usos, you have the New Day, you have Sanity, who are all great. Their push is being great. it's kickoff show. I'm not putting too much thought into it. That's pretty much that's what's dictating us. SmackDown.
I understand the
I'm
logical.
Gonna
Oh, sorry. You go ahead.
go. I already interrupted you, and you get salty about it, so.
Here we go
God.
again.
Ding ding.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. I'm picking Raw for this one. This one was tough for me. Like, I can't.
But like, who pins? Who wins? The B team? It's just so
Bobby Roode, Chad
knowing
Gable.
that Vince is gonna be there. Who knows?
The team. It's so bad.
My problem with it is that I feel like Sanity's not gonna cooperate, and they're just gonna ruin it for everyone because they don't care. That's my reason behind it. So like, that's kind of partially it. The other it's really tough, and also they're kind of weirdly pushing Bobby and Chad. So
They'll be the sole
no
surviving
one,
team.
They'll be
like, I
sole
know.
survivors.
Yeah, I know. But like, that's my reason.
They'll
behind it.
eliminate the Usos, the New Day, and Sanity all by themselves.
The Colognes will be the last team standing. Watch.
And then Jason Jordan will fucking ruin it for both of them. That's what's gonna happen. I can see it now.
All right, CJ, who do you have? Awesome.
I'm putting my man. You literally have the two most decorated tag teams of the modern era on one team. You gotta go with SmackDown. I wouldn't be surprised if the Usos and the New Day were the sole survivors because they're you could put them two teams against the entire Raw tag team division, and you would still be like, yo, Usos and New Day got this.
Yeah, it's too much. It's too much talent. That's what I'm going with too. I just think there's too much talent. And that's
Watch
really
it. New Day and Usos get eliminated first.
First
That's
one.
what's gonna happen.
First one from the B team. Or
from the B team or
Yeah.
Lucha House Party, whichever one.
Ascension, whatever you want, however you want to think of it. All right, let's move on to the next one.
All right, the women's Raw vs SmackDown.
Very tough. This
Okay.
is a tough one. CJ, you want to go first?
Yeah. So judging the talent on SmackDown versus Raw, you got Raw with Natalia, Ruby Riott, Mickie James,
Nia
and
Jackson,
two other
Tamina.
bitches.
Nia
Yeah,
Jackson,
two other
Tamina.
bitches. Yeah.
The
And then you
Samoan SWAT
have
team.
SmackDown with Asuka, Naomi, Carmella, Sonya Deville, and I'm gonna throw my hat in with Nikki Cross being the final member of
That's
SmackDown.
what we think. Also, that's what we think.
Yeah,
Agreed.
And I think that's gonna make the difference. And I'm gonna throw the hat to SmackDown because of Asuka, Naomi. Carmella's just going to have a fun dance break, maybe get a surprise elimination, but I think Nikki Cross might be the deciding factor in that. If they went with someone like Mandy Rose, then I'm more inclined to go with Raw, but I have a feeling they're going to go with SmackDown, especially because Raw got the win last year.
Yeah.
And I believe they got the win. Didn't they get the win the year before, too? They got the win. So, it's kind of like SmackDown women's team should get the bump, especially because their ace in the hole, SmackDown Women's Champion Becky Lynch, is out right now. So I feel like they're going to have much more of an edge right now because they're more determined.
Yeah, we pretty much agree, and obviously, as we stated before, we can change our picks based on like how things dictate or thoughts that come into our head. Because if let's just say they do announce this person, and that should change our pick, we are at liberty to say because right now it really just listed the TBA.
Yeah, we know changing picks is kind of what got Jimmy in this hole in the first place.
Let's not get them wrong. Let's not start this. Let's not start this.
And I'm picking SmackDown as well.
Yeah.
The women on SmackDown are just strong. Even if they do pick Mandy Rose, like honestly, dude, they're really gonna put Raw. I feel like it's gonna be SmackDown.
I'd be disappointed if it's really just we're gonna wait and it's Mandy Rose. But I feel like if it was Mandy Rose, we would have just heard it last night. So I feel like there is a point. I think Nikki Cross is the one. So we'll see. But yeah, we're all going SmackDown.
And now I kind of feel like Nia and Tamina were the thing that we were like, how are they going to get knocked out?
Yeah.
But I think Nia injuring Becky might get her punished in this match.
That is also very true. I didn't think of that.
And
That's
Tamina as
true.
well. Got no leg to stand out on
Yeah,
Nia. So.
like Tamina could get pinned even though she's big. Nia will probably not get pinned because she's she's the number one contender. But yeah, she could get a count out, could get punished, could get five people teaming up.
Carmella, let's be real here. Carmella's going to eliminate Nia. That's her
bang.
punishment.
That's our punishment.
With Dakota Silence.
Yeah, with Dakota Silence, get that big head around.
Oh my God! All right, all right. Men's Raw versus SmackDown. Who do we got?
Raw, big.
Fuck.
Big.
I hate this match. I hate everyone in this match right now.
Everyone?
I'm sorry.
Even
Are you
Braun.
picking-
I'm just mad at the match. Like,
All right.
I really am. They've done absolutely nothing. You know, I'm just mad.
I think it's all right.
I'm just really mad.
So who do you
know,
have?
I feel like
Who do you have, angry
I'm
young
gonna
man?
I'm going SmackDown.
SmackDown. Okay.
All right, and I'm
I-
going Raw.
I'm gonna,
I'm sorry. Sorry. Cut you off. Go on.
I just don't see. I feel like Braun Strowman's going to be the reason why they lose, and Shane McMahon's going to get the sole survivor pick because I just
didn't even
really
think
gotta
about that.
throw-
I'm not
did.
changing my mind, but damn, you're right.
I
That could happen.
We thought of that, but I'm just like, I'm refusing to believe they do it. I'm
But
refusing to
Shane
believe
McMahon
it.
was the last person last year, you know, and he had to go up against Kurt Angle and Triple H and Braun. And I'm just thinking SmackDown.
Nah, fuck that.
and
I
I'm
believe
just-
in truth
I'm
and
not looking
justice.
I'm not looking forward to this at all.
Listen, someone
Braun
could just pull
Strowman-
off a Roman Reigns spear and just knock Shane out just like they
Yeah,
did last
right.
year, and then
Ran-
do that in honor of Roman Reigns. That could happen too. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we're going Raw. I really
not happy about this, man. I'm not looking forward. This is the weakest one. It's just, ugh.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, we're going Raw too. I just don't see Strowman and McIntyre both getting eliminated. One of those two is going to be, if not both
Oh
of them,
yeah, I forgot.
will
I
be.
forgot Drew McIntyre was there.
Sure.
Oh
So-
shit! Hold on, wait. Wait.
Ah.
Drew McIntyre changes everything.
Oh my God. Okay, let's just get something straight. The men for Raw are Strowman, Ziggler, McIntyre, Balor, Lashley. The men for SmackDown.
I only remembered like 3 of those names. Yeah.
The men
Okay.
for SmackDown are going to be Joe, Hardy, Miz, Mysterio, and
Shane McMahon.
Oh God,
That's someone you always
I
forget.
forget Shane McMahon every
I
time.
think it's intentional.
Yeah. So there. Those are your. So who are you taking, CJ?
Oh man,
Oh,
McIntyre changes everything. Like,
But
you
Shane
know,
McMahon's best
Shane
professional wrestler in the
McMahon,
world.
Yeah, Shane McMahon's the best professional wrestler in the world. You can't.
Yeah,
forget
but
His
you know,
daddy
he
runs the
basically-
company.
that. Yeah.
And make him the best wrestler in the world.
Look, you can always change it in the future, but
Yeah,
do you want us to keep you for SmackDown
What-
right now?
Man.
Do you want to come back to this one?
Yeah, come back to me with this one.
Ah,
I got you.
okay, fine.
Change
So much
it.
for running through these.
Yeah, right.
All right.
Limping.
All right. Cruiserweight Championship match: Buddy Murphy versus Mustafa Ali.
Buddy
Murphy.
Murphy
Murphy.
just got
Murphy.
just
Let's
got
go.
the
What's the next
title.
one?
Not too much thought in that. Buddy Murphy.
Buddy Murphy.
Buddy Murphy.
Bud Murphy.
Buddy Murphy.
Marty
All
Murphy.
right. Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
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 I think Dean Ambrose gets involved.
Yeah, I think Dean Ambrose
Dean
gets
Ambrose
involved.
has to get involved.
Yeah, I think Dean Ambrose gets involved. Costs Seth Rollins and Nakamura.
Or Shinsuke just gives Rollins a low blow again. Stomp. Low blow.
All right. AOP versus The Bar.
AOP.
AOP.
I mean, they just got the belt. They're
Bar
dying.
can afford to lose a match.
Well,
Yeah.
especially with Big Show there. I mean, he could just, turn
He
again.
could turn
on
back.
them. he could turn back. He could turn forward,
Yeah.
backwards,
He
side
could-
to side.
he could do
everywhere.
whatever he wants.
Yo, Big Show versus Drake Maverick.
No. Well, actually, that would be kind of entertaining.
I don't know if that'd be entertaining. I would like to see Big Show just throw a tiny little man across the arena. That'd be fun.
Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
Last chapter to Big
Do
Show
you think?
through the barricade.
Man, I just thought of not a bad thought, but just something stupid that they would
no. Don't say it.
do. Do you think that they're gonna make Big Show into like not make him, but like have him wear like a huge bar-esque attire, so like a big jacket and a big kilt,
Anything's better than
I'd be
like
okay with that.
anything's better than like Kevlar.
and then they would. God, it would just. Man.
Even,
Yeah, where's Kurt
nevertheless-
Angle's shield vest?
So we're all going with AOP.
Yeah,
Yeah,
AOP.
All right.
All right. Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte.
Ronda Rousey.
Ronda.
If this isn't,
I feel like this is gonna play into the Charlotte like redemption story that she can't
Yeah.
get the job done.
yeah, I mean,
Plus, it's also going to go
And
into the fact
Ronda
that
doesn't
Ronda
lose.
just got her ass handed to her on Monday. So yeah,
Yeah.
she's gonna
Ronda's-
take it out on somebody.
Either
I would have
she's
picked
wi-
her regardless.
yeah, I would
Oh,
have
yeah,
picked her
same thing.
regardless. Either she's winning, or if she doesn't win, some are saying that Nia and Tamina are going to get involved.
It's a Schmazino contest.
Right, it's a Shimazino contest. This will not, like, some are saying that they'll get involved and that will lead to Charlotte winning. If they get involved, it's a no contest. Ronda will not lose. At least I don't think.
Yeah.
so
So what are we throwing our hats at? Ronda Rousey?
Yeah.
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 All right, last
Okay.
match: Brock Lesnar versus Daniel Bryan.
Brock, hard.
Dun, 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 dun,
Like,
dun.
I
Dun,
gave.
dun, dun.
I'm not gonna lie. I gave serious consideration for Daniel Bryan. And
We
then
didn't.
I did for like I did just for a couple minutes, just because like, what would happen if they did? And then I remember just rains of cheers.
Yeah.
And like, oh my god, that'd be terrible.
Happiness? No.
Yeah, happiness? That's not gonna happen.
We don't need that shit here.
No, he's gonna get German suplexed into oblivion. He won't know his kid's name after this match. We're gonna have to all deal with that and try and boo him.
No,
Oh man, oh,
Joe,
god.
you're wrong.
Hey,
Joe,
BB.
you're wrong.
Oh, shit.
No, Joe, you're wrong. He's gonna see a bunch of his kids, just flying around his head like a birdie.
Oh my god. Instead of seeing stars, he's gonna start seeing Birdie Joes. That's what's gonna happen.
Honestly,
Before I forget,
Yeah.
Jimmy, how do you feel about this? AJ Styles is the new Jinder Mahal.
Jinder Mahal's the new Rusev.
What does that make
boy.
Rusev then? God.
oh boy.
The new Barry Horowitz.
The new
Hey,
Aiden
don't
English.
hate on Barry. Barry was shit. All right, don't hate on Barry.
He was shit. Yes, you're right.
Correct.
The new Aiden English.
No, that didn't land as well as you
Lord.
thought it did.
Lord knows what Aiden English is.
Milwaukee.
Just keeps going further
Lana?
down.
I'm waiting for you, Lana. Let's go.
All right. Are you still sticking with SmackDown for the men's team or Raw?
Nah, I'm gonna give it to Raw because
Raw. Alrighty.
right now as I have it, I have SmackDown winning 3 and then Raw winning 3, and I think they're gonna give the Raw elimination to the Raw men's to Raw.
Alrighty, fair enough.
All right.
All right.
I think like it just makes the most sense. It's gonna be a close call again, just like last year. But SmackDown's never came on top with that, so I don't think we're gonna get a clean sweep with that.
All right, fair enough. But yeah, that's the show. Not bad for a second telecom.
No,
Yeah, no, not bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
I'm curious right now because you sound a lot better. Are you out of the car?
Yeah, I've been out of the car for a while.
Yeah, I figure because it sounds a lot better.
Yeah,
That's
once you've gotten out of the car, we've been able to hear you perfectly.
Yeah.
So
Oh, okay. Yeah, because you were speaking through my my car radio.
Yeah,
so.
like the Bluetooth or whatever it is.
Yeah.
all right, we'll try working something out better for that. But not bad though, not bad.
Yeah, no, not bad at all.
Alrighty then. That's it, guys.
Later, audio marks. Thank you, everyone, for staying tuned to our podcast. Special shout out to the Sachem Public Library for the continued use of their equipment and space. Continue supporting us by rating and subscribing through Patreon, Audio Boom, Stitcher, TuneIn, Castbox, Radio Public, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Play Music, and Apple Podcasts at Marks for Life Podcast. And now, check out our YouTube channel, Marks for Life, for our podcast playlist and other content. Please follow us on our social media on Twitter at Marks for Life Pod, Instagram at Marks for Life Podcast, our Tumblr page, Marks for Life Podcast, and our Facebook page, Marks for Life Podcast. And email us at marksforlifepodcast@gmail.com for any questions, comments, or feedback. Until next time, Audio Marks.